Hi there, welcome to the final section of this test video with Fraser Lee. Comprehensive review between the JR Touch 3 Quantum and the professional series Vitamix 750. Again, as I've said in each video, each section, if you're watching the long video, welcome to the next section. If you're watching this as an individual video, check out all the other videos in this comparison series. We've done many different tasks comparing the two, essentially two of the top blenders on the market now, both over £600, doing nut butters, coffee, flours, all sorts to show the difference between the two. And in this final section, we're going to be doing last but certainly not least, and maybe the thing that you're going to, a lot of you would do a lot of, or the most of, so possibly the most important one, is a smoothie. So I've already rigged this up for the sake of the length, because I'm conscious of the video itself, the long video is getting really long now, so this will be quite a quick one. I've already loaded this up with chunks of apple, so I've already layered them up. So you've got both in the 2 litre capacity jugs, and I've layered these jugs up with apples, cucumbers, kale, a load of ice on the top, and then we've used a coconut milk. We're trying to make a nice milky sort of thick smoothie. We've loaded these up virtually to the capacities. The 2 litre capacity line is there, it's not at the actual top, so the actual capacity is there and you're getting the ice near the top. The capacity line is there, so I've done it virtually to the capacity lines on these, and we're just going to use, the Vitamix has a smoothie setting, which is good. Old Vitamix has never had the preset functions. The JR Quantum also has many different settings. It's got a smoothie setting, but the beauty of the Quantum, it actually gives you a choice. So some people like it a bit thicker, like a thicker smoothie, a bit more textured. Some other people prefer it a lot smoother, less bits in it. So it gives you a choice on here. And if you're watching this video and you've got the Quantum and you're trying to decide which setting to use, if you use a smoothie setting, it's just a 30-minute standard smoothie, you're going to get a lot thicker sort of consistency. Might be good if you're doing lower, less capacity, just a quarter of a jug, just for yourself. If you're doing a big, high volume for yourself and your family, it might be worth using what's called the whole juice function. It runs for about 90 seconds, and obviously then if you're doing higher capacity or want a smoother blend, then use that setting there. So it gives you a choice depending on what sort of texture you want. And of course, same with both machines, if you know the texture you want and you know that 2 or 3 minutes, whatever you're blending, you can just blend it on the timer there. And of course, with the Quantum, you can set the speed, and it will put a minute on the clock, and you can actually adjust what time, and it will finish by itself. One thing the Vitamix hasn't got is a timer function, so if you are doing it manually, you're going to have to stand with the machine and watch it and stop it when it's done. Okay, so what we're looking for here is how well it blends. A lot of volume with the least tamper use going. So what I'll do is I'll pause this, get the tampers, and we'll get these blends going. Okay, so I'm going to grab some tampers and some glasses. So we're just going to go straight off with the Quantum, and we're just going to use the whole juice setting there. It starts off slowly. You can see it all getting sucked down into the blade beautifully. Very good. I've not had to use the tamper there, the tamper tool. I haven't touched it. It starts off slowly on its own, drags all the food in, then picks up speed. That's fantastic. I haven't touched that, and there's ice and all sorts in there, and you can see it's already blending up nicely. And it's designed to slow down, pick up speed. It's a very intelligent blender. What we'll do while that's blending, we'll set off the Vitamix on the Vitamix preset. Okay, so they finished about the same time, even though I started the Vitamix afterwards. That's what I meant by at the start of the video, start of this section. I used the whole juice setting. It was 90 seconds. I wanted a much better consistency. If you want a thicker one, want it done a bit quicker, you can use the smoothie function there. Bit quicker blade rotation, shorter period of time. I wanted to, really make sure it was fully blended. But they're both finished now. So I'll pause this and I'll pour this out. And one thing to note as well is that the Vitamix has come on leaps and bounds as well. Both of them were loaded up really quite high volume food, and neither of them did we need to use the tamper tool. So that's a plus point in the tick in the box for both of these models, that that's quite high capacity. It's very rare that you're going to be doing much more than that. Obviously the tamper tools come included, and you may have to use them depending on what you're doing. That's why they're there. But both of them handled a lot of ingredients there, including ice, leaves, kale, and apples and cucumbers and so on. Handled it without even the use of the tamper tool. So that's a real tick in the box for both brands there. Okay, quick pause there and we've moved on. I'm just going to have a little look, pour out this smoothie. That's lush, that's really, really delicious. I'll do the Vitamix one. We're having a close-up look here. I have to say they both look identical. So, let me have a quick taste of these. I know you can't see this when I taste them. So what I'm tasting for is for bits. Let's see how smooth it is. Now, a testament to the Vitamix, that was a shorter cycle than the Quantum. That was probably only about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, maybe a bit longer. And that's made a very, very, very good consistency. The Quantum was a little bit longer, but also an equal consistency. They're both extremely well blended. I'm not chewing on any bits. They're completely smooth smoothies with ice and kale and so forth. So I would say in that test, that's a draw. That's an absolute draw. They've both made absolutely perfect smoothies. Whichever model you get there, if you're making large batches of smoothie, you're not going to be disappointed in what you're making there. Okay, so in this final test, just as a summary really, as I say, this is possibly the most important thing for a lot of people buying this sort of machine, because it's your health and well-being. You're making green smoothies, you're trying to lead an active, healthier lifestyle. If you're making your daily smoothie to include large chunks of ice, greens, kale, which is very fibrous, and apples to include the cores and the skins and so on, you want a machine that's going to blend all of that pulp, all of them seeds, all that skin down. The odd bit and piece here, is all well and good, but you don't want to be chewing. You're making a smoothie, you don't want to be chewing on it. And this particular one, ice cubes, kale, and so on, both of these machines have performed very well in this last section. I can't actually, this is a fair test, fair review, and I can't actually pick between the two smoothies in taste and texture. Possibly a little bit more foam on there with the Vitamix, but if we're nitpicking, there's not anything between these two green smoothies, and that's got everything in it that let's face it, ordinary blenders, most if not all other blenders, would really struggle with. So in this particular one, the actual functionality of the machines, the Vitamix preset has done a great job. It's got to the right consistency, the right texture. The only thing I would point out possibly is that the added benefit of the extra presets on the Quantum, the JR Quantum, is that you can chew. So it did take slightly longer to make the smooth consistency, because it's blending a little bit more subtle. It's not going quite so crazy, so it's been a little more subtle. If you wanted a slightly thicker texture, basically more texture to it, and don't want it so thick, you can do it in your 30 seconds. Use the smoothie setting and do it in 30 seconds. So that's up to you. The Vitamix doesn't give you the choice, it gives you the one preset function. But on both machines you could blend manually as well if you really wanted your own consistency. If you put them both on high speed, it would only take 20 seconds to blend. So that's just the different presets, the way that the two companies have set them out. So functionality aside, the actual result is what's important, and the actual result is perfect on both machines for smoothies. So in that section, I would say it's a draw. And that's actually the last section, the last thing we're going to actually compare between the two machines. That's quite a lot now. The long video, if you've watched it all, well done. Congratulations. Have a smoothie to celebrate. And check out, we'll do a little summary section, a checkbox to show how each machine did. If you're watching this as an individual video, there's lots of other videos in this series comparing the two machines. So look, thanks for watching. Thanks if you've stuck with us throughout the whole big video. Well done. Thanks again. You're going to not go far wrong if you get either of these machines. They're both really good, but in all of the tests, it has to be said the Quantum nut butters and flours and so on did outperform the Vitamix in many of the tests there. So do check them out, have a look online, and if you want anything else, hit like and suggest anything that you want to blend, and we'll try and get some blending done for you. All right, thanks very much. Take care.